people seem to lose their interest in their work, and somewhere the mind keeps wandering and asking, why am I doing this work? This is not what I wanted to do. Those kind of thoughts, they bring down the energy even further. So today let us look at what we can do. I will give you just 5 points which you can easily practice to bring back that enthusiasm into life, particularly about your work. Namaste and welcome to our Alpha Mind Power channel. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so. We keep talking about very important topics for life, particularly about the mind. And today also I am going to talk about a topic like that. How to develop more enthusiasm for work. Now, this question has been coming up very often of late, particularly from youngsters in my counseling sessions, and even by email they write to me, and many people ask this question, because particularly with youngsters, because once they finish their studies they start working. For some it becomes a very interesting career, for some maybe it is not that interesting. Once they start actually working, they would have studied in some particular field, and then when they start working in that field, that's when some of them understand that this is not what I really want to do in life. My dream job is something different. So that is something many people have said. But the point is, the dream job can be there, and definitely someday it will happen. But right now, whatever job you're doing, whatever work you're doing, it is something which you should do properly, perfectly, and it is something which helps you to develop yourself. It is something which helps you to learn a lot of things. And believe me, nothing goes a waste. Whatever you do, it never becomes a waste. There are so many people who have studied in one field and then they excel in another field. I can give you a lot of examples like that. Many people lament, sometimes they say, I studied mechanical engineering, but then I went into IT. I don't know why I did mechanical engineering. It doesn't matter. Whatever you study, whatever you do during your college days, school days, it never goes a waste. And to this effect, I would like to share with you an example. One of my friends, very close friends, he is of course now retired and very little old now, but initially he did aeronautical engineering. He studied this subject thoroughly, and 10 years he worked in a concern in a very high position, and he did very well. He was perfect in his work. So when he was relating this to me, we were talking about how he was and how he did aeronautical engineering, and then finally he went into sales in another company. And in that sales line, he rose up to the position of COO, which is a very high position. And after that, he retired. So I was talking to him, and I was just remarking, saying, see, how come you did aeronautical engineering and then finally you did so well in sales? It's quite amazing. Then he said, I asked him, did you ever feel that you wasted your time in studying aeronautical engineering? He said, no, nothing was a waste. And he explained it to me. He said, see, after finishing my studies, when I took up this job, he said, even in that line, he rose to a high level, to a good level. And he said he was, the work which he was doing was something he had to do with precision. So before a flight takes off, there is a complete checkup which is done. Every little thing is checked. So he said he was in charge of that, so he learned to be perfect. He couldn't afford to make a mistake. He said, I used to go through every minute thing, and that made me understand what perfection is. And finally, when he left that job and joined this other company for sales, in that also he rose to a very high level. But he said, this perfection helped me there also, because it's not that I talk to someone and some sales proposal goes through and then I leave it like that. No, I used to go through it again and again, and very minor mistakes, very small mistakes, whatever went wrong, I was the one who used to spot it out, and we used to get it corrected. I was able to do all that because I had this background of checking for mistakes. He said that search for perfectionism, it helped me a lot in my next job also. So that way, whatever you study or whatever you do in your younger days, it never goes a waste. It always helps to develop your talents, to develop your personality. That's how it is. So coming back to this question, how to develop more enthusiasm for work? Because for various reasons, people seem to lose their interest in their work, and somewhere the mind keeps wandering and asking, why am I doing this work? This is not what I wanted to do. Those kind of thoughts, they bring down the energy even further. So today let us look at what we can do. I will give you just 5 points which you can easily practice to bring back that enthusiasm into life, particularly about your work. Okay, point number 1, think about the end result, what you will get when you do this work. And of course the name, fame and all that may be different, may be there, but I would say you should focus on the salary, because that is something which is tangible. Tangible in the sense it's not that you receive it in your hands, but it comes in your account. The money as money, it comes as money, and money is something very practical. So when you think about it and say, okay, I have to do this work, and once I complete this one whole month, I do this work for this whole month, then I will get this much money, that is my salary. So that is something which can definitely motivate you, because that's the reason why you go to work. Though your reason may be that you want to build up a career, but what does a career mean? A career means you do something which fetches you a lot of money and also name and fame. Name and fame may be there or may not be there, depends on the job. But money is always there. Everybody is working only for money. So keep that as the focus. So I need to get my salary and I need to do my work. So if you look at it like that, then you will just pull yourself up and say, then I can't lie down and say I can't go to work. I have to get up. I have to develop somehow the enthusiasm to go to work, and it will also happen. Point number 2, see if you can make your working atmosphere better and your working module also better. There are times when you get stuck with a lot of things which make it slower for you, which do not allow you to progress in your work. It could be the technology or whatever you are using. See if you can make some changes there. That will help you to complete your work faster. That will help you to make it smoother for you. And while saying this, I am reminded of my experience when I was very, very young. I joined the state government office, Tamil Nadu state government office. I worked there only for 1 year before joining a bank. But when I was in the state government office, when I joined there, they immediately sent me for a training. There is a very beautiful training center at a place called Bhavani Sagar, and 2 months training. It's a 60 days, 2 months training. I went there, and that was a very enjoyable period, because no big work, just go attend your classes and enjoy the climate. It's a very beautiful scenic place. So I was there, and they taught us every little thing about the work that we had to do as a junior assistant. So how you deal with papers, how to deal with different files, how to send reminders, and the basic things. So you do everything. There's a protocol how you work in that office. So everything was taught. And at the end of 2 months, I came back, with all that in my mind, and said, I will do everything properly. But when I came and joined back and they gave me a seat, when I went and sat there, I was so depressed, because the table was full of, piles and piles of files. So many files all around me. I actually got lost within those files. You can say anyone looking from far wouldn't be able to see me. They could only see the files. It was so high, each pile. So when I looked at it, I said, how am I going to implement what I learned here? It's almost impossible. But then I said, no, when I've learned so much, I must see what I can do. So the first thing I did was, though there were many important things which they asked me to do, I somehow found time, and I said, let me sort out these files and understand what these files are, and then whatever I can do, I will do. So then I spent some time and I sorted out the files first. So these are ones which require reminders, these are ones which are new, these are like that. And after that, I found it a little bit easier to not implement fully what I learned, but at least to some extent. So that way, if you first take time to sort out things or to add things which can make your work easier, then the atmosphere becomes better. Your feeling towards work also becomes much better. So that is the second point. Third point, talk to yourself. Whenever you feel your energy going down, whenever you feel your enthusiasm going down, just pull yourself up and tell yourself that, no, I can do this work very well. Motivate yourself. I can definitely do this work very well. I know what to do. If I need to learn something, I will learn. I will equip myself. I will finish this work. And tell yourself that, see, you need this job. You joined here because you wanted to do something good. You wanted this salary. So whatever you can tell yourself, talk to yourself, it really works. Because when you keep on repeating sentences like this, then the energy also slowly builds up. That's how it is. And then point number 4. See, when you keep on doing all these 3 things which I mentioned now, then at some point you will find that you go with a little more enthusiasm and you do whatever you were planning to do for the day. And someday at the end of the day, if you feel today really went like a textbook day, I mean, whatever I wanted to do, I've been able to do everything the way I wanted to do it. If you get that feeling by the end of the day, then reward yourself. That's very important. Nobody else is going to reward you, but you can reward yourself. Maybe you can go and have something to eat which you wanted to, or maybe there was something which you wanted to buy for yourself which you were putting off. Let's say, okay, you can say, let me reward myself. Go and buy it. Or if you just wanted to take some rest and tell yourself, yeah, now I deserve this rest, so I'll go home, simply sit down for some time. Whatever it is that makes you happy, whatever it is that you feel would be a reward, reward yourself. That's the best way for you to acknowledge, yes, today I have worked with a lot of enthusiasm and I've completed many things and this is how I want to work. So that will get established in your mind if you reward yourself in some way. Then at the last one, the point number 5, there is a saying which is self-motivation is the best motivation. So apart from talking to yourself whenever your energy comes down, that is something you do whenever you need. But self-motivation, that is something you do, it's an ongoing process. You do it every day. If you know meditation, very good. You can go into a meditative state and just keep talking to yourself. Tell yourself, see, I am a person who likes to be perfect. I am a person who can do things in a better way. I am a person who will definitely make this happen. You keep talking to yourself like that, motivate yourself, look at the end result, how you will feel when you complete whatever work you're doing. So that kind of motivation, it definitely will keep your energy level very high. So practice all these things, keep your energy level high, keep your motivation very high. And definitely by being perfect in whatever you're doing, it's not just about what you're doing today. Maybe today is not the kind of work you want to do for the entire life. You want to do something else, you have something else which you call your dream job, fine. That's going to happen some other day, maybe a little later. But what you're doing today is preparing you for that dream job as well. It's preparing you for tomorrow. It's preparing you for your life. So whatever kind of job it may be, you need not be in a very big position to perform well. You can perform well in the lowest of positions also. That doesn't matter at all. It should be like anybody should be able to say that if you give a job to this person, whatever it may be, it will be perfectly done. So that is the kind of reputation that you must build up for yourself, and that will not only make you do your work properly for that day, but it will make your personality much better. So these are all ways in which we train our mind to do what we really want to do in a better way, and also to keep your enthusiasm brimming and high. So my best wishes and my blessings to you to always be enthusiastic and to do your work in a much better way.